Very good evening to everyone. It's a warm welcome to everyone for our talk show that is Jungle Chimes. So I would like to present you about our Exploring Nature, Call of the Wild. It's a wildlife consulting company. Now about Exploring Nature, would like to tell you that Exploring Nature is a community of lightly minded people who loves nature and wildlife at the same time. Also, like Jungle Chimes is a platform wherein we need to create an awareness about the nature, also about the wildlife and the photography. So this is a regular talk show being delivered by domain experts. Now, our services include nature trials and photo walks, nature and wildlife photography workshop, nature and wildlife photography camps, nature and wildlife photography expeditions. Now, I would like to elaborate a little bit on all these services which we provide. Now, the very first is photo walks. Now, there is a dire need to create awareness about nature and its coexistence. Now, photo walks is welcomed by people of all the age group. So, this is wherein we can create more awareness to the people. Then the second one is nature and wildlife photography workshop. Here, in order to enhance the awareness, this is a photography workshop, wherein people who have interest in photography, especially for nature and wildlife, they can just get a little bit of training and tuning. Okay, and they can enhance their passion as well, because there are many youngsters who love photography, especially into wildlife and nature. So just to enhance them also. Then our next is nature and wildlife photography camps. Again, to just give a growth and give a more awareness to the people. So this is a camp, photography camps, wherein people can get trained and nurture themselves. Okay. Now we also have photography expedition. Year over year, it's like, it's our vision is to develop sustainability based on our ecotourism, and also to grow the economy of the area, especially in the interior. There are many nature and wildlife, but it has not been like, economically that famous, you can say, or that well known. So for that reason, a small step so that we can enhance more such places. Okay, now wildlife consulting is a wildlife management of bird sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and tiger reserve. Now we have assessing habitats, observing wildlife, all those surveys. Then planning and development of sustainable and ecotourism, guide training program, promotional and conservational activities. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker, that is Mr. Apurva, who, at a very young age, he has started his passion in this photography with through spiders and other insects. Photography is also being featured in well-known platforms like National Geographic, and also in some other places. Is also in Sanctuary Asia. And yeah, up to you, Apurva. Welcome,
Thank you so
Apurva.
much for
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. So, before starting, let me know if my audio is clear.
It's
Yeah,
clear.
Is my
Apurva,
audio
you are
clear?
audible.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's clear.
you are
Okay,
audible.
cool. Cool. So I'll share the screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, so is the screen visible? Can you all see the screen?
Yes, we can, Apurva.
Cool. So, first of all, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Myself, Apurv Jadhav. I'm a nature and wildlife photographer based in Pune, and I've been doing wildlife photography since like 7 to 8 years. 7 to 8 years, and mostly I've been into nature and wildlife photography, especially macro. So why macro? Because as I started very at a very young age, my parents were not that um, keen to send me somewhere in the jungle. So they used to say that, okay, you don't go far from home and do whatever you want. So that is the reason I chose macro photography, because I didn't have to go to any exotic locations to get these subjects. So yeah, I started my macro photography journey with this spider. So basically, what spider is this? So this is a red back spider. Its scientific name is Latorictus slt, and this is a spider which is relative of the Australian redback spider, which is one of the most venomous spider in the world. And I was very fascinated to see that okay, this spider is found near my home. So there was this person. I met him, and he was studying zoology, and his specialty was in spiders. So we used to hang out together. We used to go on nature trails. He used to show me different types of spiders and everything. And I was very fascinated to know that okay, these spiders have names. So I was very keen to know that the spiders that I found in and around my home, what names do they have? So that is how I started to uh, like get interest in wildlife and especially spiders. So yeah, I used to collect spiders back then, and I used to show him that okay, see, this is the spider that I found. Please let me know what the name is, and he used to tell me name in like a few seconds, and that really intrigued me to know that okay, uh, every spider is different. They have different behaviors and everything. So he suggested me that. As I was collecting spiders to show him, it will be better if I take pictures and show him the pictures instead. So, even I will have a small record that okay, I have found these many spiders and they look like this. So, yeah, my journey with photography and wildlife started with this particular spider. You can see the red mark on its back, and it's a very simple, like the color structure and everything is very simple of the spider. It is totally black with the red mark, due to which it gets its name, redback. So this is how I started. And later, when I started to take photographs for documentation purpose, I used to take pictures like these. So you can see this is a very basic plain dorsal shot of a jumping spider. Its name is Halus semicaprius, and this is very commonly found all around India. So you can see this picture is very like there's no complex compositions or lighting involved. Why? Because I just wanted to document what spider it is. And for identification purpose, there are only a few angles that are considered for getting the key points for identifying spiders. So this is a dorsal view. I used to take these shots of each and every spider that I found. So every time I get any new spider, I used to get it, place it under a like under light or something, and I used to place a white sheet below the spider, and I used to take a plain, clean picture just for documentation purpose. So later I started to get different spiders. Now even this one is a jumping spider. Its name is Rainy species, and it is different from the one that I showed previously. So the body structure is different, the colors are different, uh, the eye structure is different, the length between eyes is different. There are some key points which are very essential to know. So if you can see, the first pair of legs in this spider are looking quite muscular if you compare to the spider. So that is a typical, what we say, pointer which can be helpful for identifying spider. So this is a Rini species, and yeah, moving ahead, this is a huntsman spider. Uh, its name is Eusparasis, and these spiders are huge. So its size was around uh, the size of my palm. Yeah. So there are spiders which are very small, like they are like a few millimeters, and there are some spiders which are really big, like this one. So its diameter of legs was around 3 inches, I guess. And yeah, I used to get them. I used to place white sheets, take some pictures. So you can see the eye structure here is different than the ones that I showed previously. Yes, so after a point of time, I started to like take interest in other insects and other creatures as well. But my primary focus was only on spiders. I used to like spiders. I still like spiders, but I started to explore other um, uh, aspects of like subjects as well. So, for example, this cuckoo wasp. So this is a very beautiful metallic wasp with this beautiful texture on like throughout its body, and it came home like it got basically attracted to the light, and it came home. I saw that okay, this is resting and it's not moving much, so I shall take some pictures. So yeah, this is how I started to explore subjects that are not spiders. But after a point of time, I noticed a thing that okay, I'm taking pictures with white background, but that doesn't give much information about the subject. So, for example, this spider, if you consider, uh, you you will not know that okay, this spider is found on trees, on bark, on leaves, in foliage, or under the stones by looking at this picture. So you'll have to like hunt it by yourself. You have to go and see it for yourself, and you'll have to find every place to look for the spider. Just because through the picture you cannot get the habitat. So later I started to take pictures in habitat. So this is a plant hopper. Everyone must have seen this one. These are mostly found on acacia plants, trees. So why are they found on acacia trees? Is because they don't have a good defense mechanism. They just flee. They just fly off. They just jump and fly off if they are scared. So when I started to take pictures in nature, I started to uh, get additional information in my pictures to show that okay, this plant hopper is not found on leaves. They mostly rest on uh, like a twig or branches. So later I started to shoot uh, insects and spiders in nature to get more information about them. This is a grass jewel spider, and its name is Sirtarachne. So you can see that this is its typical resting position, and everyone must be thinking that okay, spiders are really ugly. They don't have like they are not beautiful. But you can see that these spiders have a very beautiful structure to their body, and they have unique patterns and colors as well. So this particular spider have a beautiful pink band around its back, and you can see it is resting on a leaf. So this is its typical resting position. And as I was shooting more and more, I got to know that okay, there are some key differences which you can see. So this is nothing different than this spider. This is a male spider of this spider. So this is a female spider of Sirta arachne. Just give me a second. I'm sorry.
I would like to tell if anyone who wants have any question or want to ask can just ask freely once his presentation is over. Okay, and yeah, that is what I wanted to tell.
I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling well.
It's okay.
Yeah. So this is a female spider of Sirta arachne, and this is a male spider. So how to differentiate is you can see this boxing glove like structure over here near its face. So here you can see that it is swollen. And in the previous image, if you check, it is not that swollen. It can be barely seen. So this is one of the key feature which can be helpful for identifying if the spider is male or female. Sorry. Yeah, so I started to shoot more and more subjects. I used to get very unique subjects that usually you will not see uh, in your house or around your house. But all of these, like most of these photographs are clicked near my home. So I knew that, okay, they do exist, but uh, you will not know about them until you start to look. So I started to take more and more pictures of whatever spiders or whatever insects that are that can be seen. And later I started to like get some shots just for for the purpose of a beautiful picture. So you can see this is a clean portrait of a jumping spider. You can see four big eyes on its head, and this is a male spider due to its like boxing glove like structure. It is called pedipalps. So swollen pedipalps can be seen. So this is a male spider, and this is one of the spider that you can find inside your house. So many of the times, if you live in a like developing rural areas or urban areas, you can see that okay, there are many jumping spiders in your home, which you can see crawling on the walls and everything. But they do have these intricate details which can be seen by taking a closer look at them. So this is a picture of a worker termite, and you can see that they don't have eyes. So what this termite is trying to do right now is it is trying to sense the smell of its colleagues, or trying to sense the smell and trying to understand that okay, what all things are happening around it. So there are very simple subjects that you all must be knowing, but they look very different when you take a closer look. Later I started to explore more and more. I started to get snakes and scorpions around my house, so I tried to take good pictures of them. Yeah, before, like, if you are interested to take pictures of snakes and scorpions, do make sure that you take precautions, you follow the ethics and guidelines, because uh, without ethics there's no moral to your photography. For a merely a good shot, if you are harassing the creature, then the picture is of no use. So try to get pictures that are more natural. So you can see this is a snake trying to rest. Its name is Olividon. Its a common name is Russell Kukri. Uh, yeah, this is a picture of bicolored scorpion. And why is this called bicolored scorpion? Is because you can see the tail color is black and it fades as it comes towards the body. So there are these two different colors due to which it gets its name, that is orthokyrus bicolor. So taking pictures in nature, but in such a way that you can see the body features, was my goal over here. And I didn't follow much of the, like, because you can see the total body features, the picture might look good to you. But I had no purpose of getting a beautiful picture or aesthetic picture till then. Sorry. This is a flesh fly, which is not a regular fly, because this actually hunts on different flies and insects around it. So you can see this structure it has here on its mouth. It's not a sponge-like structure which our houseflies have. This is a different kind of fly which hunts on different like other insects. Yeah, so this is a very interesting fly. It is a beetle mimic fly. You can see that in this picture, the fly does not have a single back or what you can see. The wings over here can be seen very clearly. They are translucent. But here in this picture, there's this beautiful shiny cover on its back under which its wings are present. So this fly actually mimics to be other insects for its protection. And I started to get these interesting subjects uh, around my house, and I was very fascinated because every time I go out for shooting anything, I used to get something that I haven't seen before. So it might be something like this fly, or uh, a different type of spider, a different insect, and I was really happy taking pictures of them and trying to identify, okay, what insect or what spider or what subject it is. Yeah, so later, when I started to uh, take pictures, I try to incorporate, okay, so what is the behavior? I try to understand what behavior does that particular subject follow. So you can see this spider. Why is this spider not on a leaf? And that the reason for that is because usually what honeybees and other flies do, they try to drink nectar from flowers. And this flower crab spider, what it does is it rests on these flowers, and it waits until let's say a fly or a honeybee comes to drink the nectar. And as because this spider gets camouflaged very well, the other insects cannot see them properly, and when they sit on the flower, this spider hunts on them. So this spider does not need to build a web for hunting. It just waits on the flowers or anywhere where potentially a prey can come, and it just snatches on them. Later I tried to incorporate some aesthetics, that okay, not only like behavior and anything, but I also should try to take some good pictures for for the sake of photography. So it doesn't matter that, okay, if I'm showing the features of the subject, or I'm trying to show a certain behavior, if a picture looks good, I should shoot it, because anyways I have a camera, and why not? So later I try to like bring in the composition elements to my photography, and it really leveled up the aesthetics of my images. So this is a common garden lizard, and you can see this picture looks quite unique because this is a straight head-on shot, and due to its bilateral symmetry, you will find this very aesthetically pleasing. And most of these images are taken using very basic camera. Like I used Nikon D3200, which is a entry level camera. It is not manufactured anymore, and it's kit lens, that is 18 to 55. So you don't need a fancy gear to start with your photography. You can use minimum accessories and minimum sources to get some good pictures or meaningful pictures. So yeah, this is a leopard gecko, and this is a juvenile of that. Juvenile means a baby. So this is a baby leopard gecko, which I shot near Pune, and this is one of the most trafficked gecko in the world. So due to their beauty, these are usually kept as a pets. You must have seen this on Instagram or TV, that people are keeping these lizards in a terrarium or in a fish tank like structure. So, but these are also found in wild. And what is special about this gecko? If you see its eyes, they have this eyelid-like structure, and this is the only gecko in the world that can blink its eyes. Other geckos, what they do is they lick their eyes. I have a picture that I'll show you ahead. So other geckos, for cleaning their eyes, they lick, and this particular gecko, what it does is it blinks. So this is a very special gecko. So yeah, while I was taking good close-ups, I tried to experiment with my gear. This is also a picture taken with Nikon D3200 and a kit lens. There was nothing else that I used for this picture, and it looks fairly good. You can see what habitat it is. It is found near a very old home, and this picture looks good. I tried to take a white picture which incorporates the background and gives us a sense that okay, where this picture was taken. Yeah, as I was roaming in such of subjects, I got to know about many different snakes and uh, like dangerous creatures which you will not try to shoot if you encounter any, but I used to go to hunt for them. And yeah, also please make this clear, I was not alone while shooting these pictures. While shooting any dangerous subject, there are at least two more people with me, two more friends who will always keep an eye on if I'm very close to the subject, or if the subject is getting very close to me. Because once you put your eye to the viewfinder, uh, the subject might get closer by then. So to avoid that danger, I always go around with one or two of my friends, which keeps an eye that okay, if the subject is moving much, if it is uh, trying to come under me or anything. So please make sure you are not alone while shooting any dangerous subjects. Yeah, so this is a juvenile, like subadult of a green mantis. Its name is, I guess, Hirodula ventralis, and this is found near a farm. So you can find these in your gardens as well. So you don't have to go to a very exotic location to see such creatures. You have subjects that can be seen in your, even in your home, in your garden. So my favorite place to shoot macro is the parking area because it is very close to my home, and I get many different subjects there. And as we are shooting close-ups or macro, the focus is mainly on the subjects, and it is not necessary to have a have the sense of background in your image. So for that reason, you can see that okay, many of my images have black background. So I have done that because maybe the background was not beautiful, and I wanted to emphasize on the subject. But whenever I get chance, whenever I think that okay, the background looks beautiful, I try to incorporate it through my photography. So even this is a picture taken with a kit lens. Yeah. So later, when I started to uh, shoot ahead, I try to visit a different location. So this is a picture taken at Amboli. This is a Malabar pit viper, and these are very beautiful creatures. Uh, that day it was like raining very heavy, and this fella was uh, resting and hiding from rain in a tree trunk. So I took a picture from there. So with the photography aspect, you can see that uh, I try not to cut the subject. So there is some space uh, in the frame, and I try to maintain that to get the whole subject and try to show the total creature. So this is a shot of a paper wasp, and you can see this is, I guess, building its nest or something. So everything here is clean. I didn't try to uh, like clutter up the background. Everything I tried to keep it clean. So yeah, I was trying to get my aesthetics right. You can see there's space in front of its head. I could have shot this image in a way that this subject is right in the center, but that would not look much more pleasing. So I try to give a bit more negative space in front of the subject so that it will look more aesthetic. Yeah, so this is a picture that I told. So other geckos, they clean their eyes with their tongue. So this is a moment that I captured, and this is very common. If you think that okay, these moments are very rare, and how do I get this? You feel that they are rare because you are not observing enough. Whenever I shoot any subject, I spend at least an hour trying to understand what the subject is trying to do, where is it going, and if it is hunting, then how is it hunting? If it is doing any mating ritual, then how is it going? So you have to keep observing, and you have to time your shots according to that. So this is a picture of a cricket, and it is actually a dead one. So in nature, you will not find, like, it is very rare to find insects that are naturally dead, because what happens is when insects get old, they get much more slower, and uh, they, like, fight a lot amongst them. They might lose a hand or leg, and that is, in most of the cases, the reason that the insect is dead. But here you can see that the insect is naturally dead, but it is covered in a fungus. So this was my first ever sighting of a smaller creature, that is insect, which is naturally dead. Yeah, so as I tried to tell you that, okay, I tried to incorporate some aesthetics in my images. I uh, yeah, I tried to shoot this image. So you can see there are these droplet like structures in the web. So what happens is at night, these webs, they um, collect the water droplets due to condensation, and it is shown that the spiders that are dwelling on ground, they help to increase the groundwater level. So if you ever visited a farm in early rainy seasons, you will see that there are these cotton-like structures, web structures on the ground in the farms. So even those structures, they uh, collect water droplets, and which is uh, slightly helpful for increasing the groundwater level. So isn't that amazing that these tiny creatures with these beautiful intricate structures, they are helping nature in such a different way. So yeah, this study was done in, I guess, Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, I don't remember, but they published a scientific paper uh, by like a scientific paper which said that these spiders help to increase the groundwater level at a certain limit. Yeah, so this is a sandworm, Whitaker sandworm, and this was one of the snake that I found near my, like, in the neighboring town. I had a friend who rescues snakes, so he called me once saying that, okay, he has found a snake and he is going to release it soon, and if I am available, I can go and shoot with him. So I went there, I shot the snake, and I came back. So this is the picture that we took while releasing the snake. So this snake is more uh, very misunderstood, because they are very small, very fat, and they look somewhat like a Russell snake, which is one of the four most venomous snakes in India. So this snake is mistaken for that, and for that reason, many people kill these snakes. So you can see the head and the tail looks somewhat similar. The tail is not long; it is short and stout. So and here in this image, you can see that it has kept its tail in front of it. So if I'm a predator, I'll misunderstand for its head by looking at its tail. And if I want to hunt it, I'll probably go for the tail by misunderstanding that it is a head. So this is its defense strategy for like being uh, not hunted by the predators. So right now it has kept its head on its body, but in some cases they try to hide their heads below their body to avoid head injury. Yeah, so this is a wine snake. You can see that, yeah, this is one of the snake which has horizontal pupils. Other snakes, if you see very clearly, even this snake, it has a vertical cat eye-like pupil, and here you can see it is a snake having horizontal pupil. So if I would have shot this snake like the side view of the face, it would not look much beautiful. But here you can see the direct eye contact and its horizontal pupil makes it look more dangerous. But trust me, it is not. It's very shy and very beautiful snake. It is very long but very slender, and even this shot is taken at Amboli. I haven't visited much places away from my home, but whenever I do, I try to take pictures of each and everything that I come across, irrespective of uh, if I have taken pictures of that subject previously or not. I try to shoot anything and everything, because every time you shoot, you get something new. Also, it is very important to study your subject, because if you do not study your subject, then you may not get a shot that will justify its beauty. So if I wouldn't have known that okay, this is the only snake with horizontal pupils, I would have taken a few basic shots and I would have left the snake. But because I knew that okay, this had horizontal pupils, I planned this shot previously. Yeah, so later I try to take pictures not for the purpose of photography or for the purpose of documenting what subject it is, but just for the sake of art. I try to take pictures which look good, aesthetically good. Then it doesn't matter that okay, it shows any behavior or anything. So this is a very tight portrait of a garden jumping spider. Its name is Carotus, and this spider can mostly found on leaves and trees. And you can see it is really very beautiful, and they have these tiny small hairs. So okay, yeah, what is the function of these hairs? So spiders do not have ears to listen, but they have these hair-like structures overall in their body to sense the vibrations around them. So even if they don't have ears, they can sense if you are talking to them through these hairs, because the hairs vibrate as we speak or as we pass by, and these spiders will know that okay, there's something, some creature that is around, and that is how they sense the surroundings. Yeah, so this is a crab spider, and it mimics to be an ant. It mimics to be an ant, and even before taking this picture, I I was knowing that okay, these spiders exist, and how did I know this? So, for studying subjects, I used two sources. First, I used to go out by myself, and I used to shoot whatever things that are there. I used to observe, and I used to come back and check what it is and what its behavior. So that was one of my method to study the subject. The other method was using the sources that are available on social media. So uh, in my initial days, for around 3 to 4 years, I tried to remain active on Facebook groups like Spider India and Insect India or Entomology. So people all around the world and all around India, they post the pictures of spiders and insects on such forums, and I used to get to interact with the researchers and other photographers to know about the subject. So I was not like very surprised to see this creature, because I knew okay, these spiders exist, and they have this behavior of resting their arms in air, and I can get a good picture like this. So you can see I try to take a head-on picture. And why is it? Because when you shoot macro, there is one major problem, that is of depth of field. So if you can see, the hind legs are blurred out. That is because they are out of the plane of focus. But the other six eyes, sorry, the six legs those are in the same plane of focus, which help them to be crisp sharp. Yeah, so this is one of the picture that got featured on National Geographic. This is a very common gecko. It's called as termite hill gecko, and it has this beautiful blue eyes and uh, this orange dash, which looks like the Milky Way in the sky. So if you take a closer look in its eye, you'll feel like you are staring into the galaxy, and the stars are there. There's this Milky Way in its eyes. Even for this picture, I planned the shot before. I tried to incorporate the uh, photography compositional elements, uh, and use them to get a better picture for myself. Yeah, so this is another picture of a termite. You can see I could have taken a much closer picture, but I liked how the light and the location was over there. So here it looks like the termite has climbed a mountain, and it's like uh, waving its hands in victory. It is feeling the termite is feeling good. So such pictures are just for the purpose of art. Yeah, here's another picture. I didn't try to show any behavior or any particular trait of this subject, but just purely because it looks beautiful, I took this picture. And why did I take a black and white picture? Because it matches with the calmness of the subject. Everyone knows that snails are not fast; they are very calm creatures, and for me, this converting this picture to black and white helped me to convey that message through my image. Yeah, so this is another shot of a common kukri snake. You can see I try to freeze the motion here. So it was so yeah, snakes does not have nose to smell. Instead, they use their tongue to flicker around, and they gather the scent from the air, and they use their tongue to smell. So this is another picture of a common garden lizard. So yeah, after a point of time, I upgraded my gear. I upgraded to Nikon D7500, which is the high-end version of crop sensor cameras in Nikon. And with that, I got Tamron 90 VC, which is a very good and very built like a tank uh, lens. So yeah, this is a picture of a common garden lizard. You can see I tried to compose this picture in a different way. So here it looks like a close-up of a dragon with the scales and textures around it. Yeah, so this is a picture of a plain tiger butterfly, and I did not try to incorporate any of its head or anything. I just wanted to take the details on its wings. So if you zoom in, you'll see that there are these tiny scales all around its wings. So these tiny scales come together to form a wing of this butterfly. So these pictures are just taken for the sake of beautiful aesthetics. Yeah, so this is a bowler spider. Its name is Orgarius, and you can see there is this tiny spider that is approaching the female. So the thing that is going on over here is I tried to document the natural history of this spider. So the big spider that you can see here is the female, which is resting, and the small spider which is approaching is the male. So here the male is trying to mate with the spider, and yeah, this is very interesting thing because in nature, some of the creatures, like in some of the creatures, the females are much more bigger than the males. So it is the same case with this spider. The female of the spider is at least 5 to 6 times bigger than the male version. And trust me, the small spider that is approaching the female, that is a mature one. So the baby male spiders are even smaller than the one you can see in this image. Yeah, so here you can see it is a courtship before mating performed by fruit flies, and they usually mate on flowers like this cosmos flower. I saw that okay, I can compose this picture in a beautiful way by incorporating the flower and its colors. So the yellow against the black gives the image a good pop, and the compositional elements I try to put the main subject in a very unique place. So there's this compositional element that is known as golden ratio. So if you Google it, you'll get to know about it. It's a golden spiral. Yeah, it's also called as golden spiral. So I try to compose this picture with that golden ratio composition in my mind. So yeah, also uh, I would have shot this image from a upper view where you can see the flower very clearly, but that would have uh, not uh, convey the sense of subject to the image, because the main subject here is the flies, which are very tiny. But why do these flies look uh, like get separated is because there is a very good contrast in the background and like within the background and the subject. So you also have to try to take images by understanding the photography aspects of it. So a good contrast between the subject and the background makes the subject pop very prominently. Yeah, so here I tried to experiment with lighting. Trust me, this picture is taken in afternoon. Yeah, this picture is taken in afternoon, and I saw that okay, in my house there was this hole in the wood, and there's this fly that is coming in and going out. So I observed it for 4 to 5 minutes, and I got to know that okay, this is a uh, leaf curling fly, and it is building its nest in that hole. So I set up my camera, I set up the light. So the light you can see here is an external flash that I use for taking this picture. I try to place the flash behind my subject to get the ring around it. I knew that okay, flies have the tiny hair-like structures throughout their body, and by placing the flash behind the subject, these uh, hair will surely pop out. So not only I try to capture the behavior here, but I also try to shoot this image in a creative way. So as this was shot in my home, I did not like that okay, the background is uh, something that is not nature. So I guess I had a chair behind this subject. So I wanted to eliminate that chair. So I dialed in the settings in a way that okay, if I fire a flash from behind, only a rim will be lit, and I can show that this is the subject and it is building its nest. So sometimes you will face some challenges, but these challenges are really important to push yourself to become more creative. Yeah, so this is another shot that I took with my old camera, Nikon D3200 and 1855 lens. This is a saw-scaled wiper. You can see the eye is very cat-like. So yeah, this is a snake from viper family, and also this is one of the one of the four most venomous snake found in India. And these are very tiny, very small. I tried to like I had like I'll show you the picture. So my photography setup is uh, built in such a way that I am uh, very safe from the subject. So, despite of being close to this subject, my setup was built in such a way that I was protected completely. But still, I had two friends who spot me for this shot, and they told me that okay, if I can go much more closer, or should I just fall back? Yeah. So till now we have seen some usual subjects, but this subject I was not planning to shoot until my brother told me. So my brother had a fish tank, and he had goldfish in them. So he told me that there are these small creatures which are uh, like best for its his goldfish. So I told him that okay, well, if you have any uh, chemical which prevents these, then you can put it in water. Later, he told me that okay, you can. Sorry. Later, he told me that okay, he have captured some of these creatures because he wanted to know what they are, and even I saw them for the first time. This is a picture of a fish flea, which is very common. And later, after taking pictures and after um finding out what it is and what it does, I figured it out that these fish fleas are major pest for the people who are into fishing industry, who commercially grows fish for let's say aquarium, or even the fishes that are uh, commercially grown for eating. So these are major pests, and you can see there are these tiny drops or the particles that look like stars. So that is nothing else but the dust or the dirt which is present in the water. I had this microscope slides, and this is very flat. And trust me, this creature, which looks big over here, it is not more than 2 millimeters in length, like the one I shot. This is not more than 2 millimeters. So I placed these creatures on slides to see what they are, and I like put my flash and dialed in the settings accordingly. And I shot a few images, and I realized that okay, I can get a black background, and the particles which are present in the water, they are also getting lit, which makes this look like these are celestial bodies or these are alien spaceships. So I like this image a lot. And yeah, this is one of the image which was uh, featured in Sanctuary Asia, which is India's one of the oldest wildlife magazine. And I was very lucky to have my picture printed in it. Yeah, this is another picture that was printed in the same magazine. So it is a common Indian red scorpion, and you can see it is carrying its babies on its back. So this is the behavior that I saw on Facebook. Some random people posted some pictures of scorpions carrying their babies on their back, and I was like waiting for the day that okay, when will I get to shoot this? And in the first lockdown, I got lucky while I was roaming. Like at that time, I was roaming alone. I was following the COVID protocols. Uh, Near my home, I just turned a rock, and I found that this scorpion was resting below it. And luckily, I got a good shot showing this beautiful behavior of this mummy scorpion. Uh, After I read some articles, I got to know that mostly all scorpions carry their babies on their back for at least 10 to 15 days. And after that, these baby scorpions, they get off the back of their mother, and they go in their own ways. So it is very interesting to know that these tiny creatures, uh, which are not more than like, which do not have size more than your hand, they have very small brain, and many of the spiders have brain that is of the size of a mustard seed, but still they have this sense of behavior which they follow, and it is very interesting for me to observe it. Here, it's the same. This is a wolf spider which I shot near my home, and you can see this is a head-on shot. But if you watch properly, it is also carrying its babies on its back. Not all spiders do this behavior. Many spiders, they leave the egg sac when they are about to hatch. Some spiders, they just lay eggs and they go away. But some spiders have this uh, behavior of having maternal care. These spiders care about their children, and for that reason, they protect these babies until they are mature enough that they can go by themselves. Here, same in this picture. So this is a mummy spider. It's a jumping spider, and you can see this is a baby spider approaching its mother. And this is its home, the egg sac. If you watch clearly, I guess here it's not visible, but there are many babies in here. So you can see here the mummy is brown in color, but the babies do not have hair at all and they are translucent. So as they grow old, these spiders grow hair which have pigments in them, and they get their color from them basically. This is one of the picture that was awarded in Nature in Focus. It was awarded, I guess, honorable mention. And yeah, this is one of the picture that was taken. We can't say by mistake, but I did not plan to take this image at all. When I was shooting in my backyard, I saw that okay, there was this power cut and there was no other light present in the area. And I had my headlamp, which was on, and this longhorn beetle got attracted to the headlamp, and came closer to me. I got a few pictures, and later I realized that okay, this longhorn beetle is uh, trying to chase the light. So wherever I was going, this longhorn beetle was following me. So what I did, I placed this longhorn beetle on a stick, and I waited till it opened its wings, and that way I planned my shot, and I got this very beautiful shot. I love this shot a lot. Uh, and I have a full series of this longhorn beetle opening its outer hard shells and showing its soft wings, which it uses for flying. Yeah, this is another very interesting sighting. Even this subject and this behavior, I was knowing it from before because I saw a documentary on, I guess, Animal Planet. So you can see there are these two different types of ants. There's this huge head of a black ant, which is known as Camponotus, and there's this small red ant. The big ant is dead, and it is covered with fungus. So here you can see a yellow line. So that is the fungus. Here you can see the white stuff. That is the fungus. And this dead ant infested with fungus was very close uh, near the hole that was created by red ants. So uh, what happens is, if you have such dead material that is infested with your with the fungus, close to the ant colony, sometimes ant colonies are totally wiped out due to the fungus. And to avoid that, these worker ants, they are sacrificing themselves. They go, like they are just tearing apart this huge ant, and they are throwing the parts away from their colony. So in that way, these ants, they are trying to save their colony. This is a very typical behavior of ants, which many of us mostly miss out. Yeah, so uh, I'm showing you the camera that I started my photography with. So this is the camera I used for the documentation purposes. Uh, so the shots that I showed previously with the white background, I shot many of my pictures with this small camera. I used it for like 3 to 4 years, and later I thought that okay, it is time to upgrade now. I upgraded to a DSLR and bought the Nikon D3200, the entry level basic camera, and I got to know that okay, 1855 lens, the kit lens is not enough to get very detailed pictures of small subjects. So I got to know that okay, this is an accessory. Uh, it is a reversal ring. You can apply it on the lens, and you can reverse the lens. You can mount the lens in the opposite direction, which will help you to get the macro like effect in your images. So I use this for around 3 to 4 years, but I recommend not to use this because the rear lens element is exposed, which should be protected at all cost. And I ruined the lens because of the this technique, but I totally used it. I got some good pictures which are published, so I find it totally worth for using. Instead, I recommend using Renox DCR 250, which is a clip-on filter. It's like a magnifying glass for your lens, which also works and serves the same purpose. And this is my current setup. You can see this is my new Nikon D7500 and Tamron 90 mm. I have this external flash, and this is a homemade reflector. Why am I not using the ones that are in the market? Is because I can get, like, I know what results I want. So for that, I have customized this diffuser for myself, and there are no complex elements involved in my setup because uh, let's suppose I am uh, at a rural area trying to shoot, and for some reason I broke the reflector. So if I like, I wanted to build a setup that I can fix or at least recreate using minimum sources. So you like these plastic sheets can be found anywhere. There are people on highways and roads who sell these plastic sheets, which are used for covering the front part of your bike so that the water won't splash in rainy seasons. So I used that material because it was plastic and it is foldable. It does not break, and the inside part of this structure is the kitchen foil, the aluminum kitchen foil, which is good for reflecting light rays. And these two things can be found anywhere. The third thing that I use for this is uh, the transparent tape for sticking everything around. So by using this minimum setup, I try to get good shots. And luckily, this is the setup that I'm okay with for now. Later, I might upgrade it. This is the front view. You can see the subject can be placed in front of it, and it is totally covered with the diffuser. And why is that? Because I want a very soft light on my subject, which is even. I don't want a patchy blotch on the subject showing a hot spot of light. So this is my current setup that I'm using, And thank you so much for this session. So if you have questions about macro photography, then you can ask me right now, because I have one more set of images that I want to show you. So as I was into wildlife photography, I was not only exploring wildlife but also exploring other aspects of wildlife photography, because I used to go out and shoot festivals and street photography. In that way, I got introduced to many good photographers, and for that reason, festival photography played a huge role in my life. I got introduced to many good people. I'd like to show you a set of images. Uh, Please let me know if you have any questions regarding macro photography.
Hina, can you please read those questions which we have been getting in the
Sure, I'll
chat
do that.
box?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Before that, thank you, Apurva. That was immensely incredible photographs, done by you. And also, we got an opportunity. We are very much overwhelmed to, see such photographs. Thank you so much. I'm going to read the questions. Just 1 second. As in, I've have some network issue and it got deleted. The question got deleted. I'm really sorry for that. If anyone can I just read out, Ishani, will you please read the question?
Let me just check.
I think Miss
I have,
yeah,
yes. So
Doctor,
one is from Dr. Aparna.
yeah.
So she's curious to know how you choose lighting to highlight now the detail. So how you, Apurva, how you choose lighting to highlight the details? For example, some are backlit. This is a question from Dr. Aparna.
Yes, so uh, many of my images have a soft light, and like there are these different qualities of light. So there is hard light, there is soft light. You can differentiate hard light from soft light by observing the shadow. If you can see the shadow, like if you see my shadow right now, it is very crisp sharp. You can see the details, like the outline of that shadow. But if this light was diffused, then you won't see the borders of the shadow. And as I was shooting macro, it is mostly presumed that heavy subjects, the subjects which are heavy, have a heavy shadow. So the subjects that I'm shooting, I wanted to show minimum shadow. For that, I chose soft light. And why would I want to show that my subjects are lightweight? Because they are lightweight.
Beautiful use of lighting. Thank you so much.
Even we request everyone, if you want, if you have any queries, if you want to ask anything, please you can directly ask him. So
So
Yeah, I want to
maybe
ask
while
a
asking, you
question.
can just switch on your videos. We'll
uh,
take the screenshots as well in between.
yeah.
Can I ask one question to
So
Apurv?
Yeah, please go ahead.
please.
Yeah. Hi, Apurv. Really, it's a wonderful presentations and it's quite informative. And the most beautiful part was the red-backed spider. Actually, I think this is the most venomous spider, one of the most venomous spiders, and it is also called as
Yes,
Australian black widow, right?
yes, yes, yes.
जो मूवी का नाम ब्लैक विडो है ना, आई थिंक इसी से है, राइट? मार्वल का जो मूवी का नाम है, आई
Right,
थिंक
right,
इसी
right.
से है. That's a beautiful one, and बहुत ही अच्छा था presentation. Here my question is that the subjects, when the subject is very tiny, how could you focus on that?
So mostly I use autofocus. Like many of the people, they will not agree that okay, autofocus will work. But if you light the subject properly with the external torch, I'm not talking about the flash. I'm talking about the head torch. If the subject is well lit, then your camera will not get confused that if you want to focus on the background, like the focus keeps on shifting, right? But if the subject is lit properly, then you can focus it in a very proper way. And at times, if I want to, like if it is getting very tricky for me to shoot with autofocus, I go with manual. I take multiple set of images. I try to take like 4 to 5 images by shifting my focus manually, and I just hope that okay, any of them will come in focus, but it happens rarely.
So during the daytime also we need a torch.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm very bad at photography, and without autofocus I can do anything. And for macro, I think I have to learn a lot about from you.
It also depends. Like most of the times, what happens is we miss the focus. Like
Yeah,
the
right.
camera is focusing properly, but we miss the focus. There are these tiny details while you shoot. So while I focus and I click the button, I stop my breathing for like 10 to 15 seconds while this procedure is completed. So that eliminates the shake that is that comes while you breathe as well. I try to take pictures having multiple contact points. My elbows might be resting on some branch. I might be sitting down and resting my hand on my leg. So with that multiple point contact, I ensure that I am not moving much.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll try in my next shots. Thank you so much.
And Gargi, there are few diffusers available in the market, which has the inbuilt light and which is powered by a power bank. So if you use that particular diffuser, so it becomes very easy, because what Apurva is doing, basically he lit a torch and his one hand is engaged, for handling the torch, and again he operates the camera with one hand, which is again he has been doing it since he has got a lot of practice. But I think for to begin with, you can straight away go ahead with the diffusers, so that you will be able to you will be able to use your both the hands on your cameras, and you can get quality photographs.
Okay, thank you, Mukul. Actually, my daughter is into photography. As you know, I'm more into birding and ornithology. But my daughter likes it very much, and she's practicing. And actually, she had taken astronomy classes in her school, and during that time, she had learned something related to photography also. So she is very much interested to know about this macro photography and all that. That's why I was a little bit curious about it. So thank you so much, Apurv and Mukul. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Yeah.
Anyone else has any questions, please?
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'll just repeat a question that I've typed there. I know that normally for macros, you have to really go close to the subject, so that you get the detail. But you obviously can't do that with these venomous snakes. So how do you do that?
So I try to maintain the minimum safe distance, and if I am not getting the shot, then I crop the image. But I know that I cannot crop more than 40%. So I try to shoot, like if you see my setup, like if you have seen my setup, the front of my camera is totally covered with the diffuser. There is no way that snake will like bite me through that
Right.
diffuser. So
Right.
that helps me with the additional safety. But I still have a few friends watching over the snake and me if it is getting much closer to me or not.
Yeah, I noticed that diffuser in the last photo that you showed me of your setup. And I
Right.
noticed you mentioned you use headlamp a lot. So that also must be helping you to have your hands free, right?
Yes.
Very nice shots. Very impressive.
Actually. Any other
Guys,
questions?
yeah, do we have any more questions, or we can jump ahead to the final part of this session?
Yes.
I
Do
think
we
you
have
can
any
proceed.
questions? Sure. I'll share my
I,
screen again. Yes.
so the diffuser is the prime person here to do all the justice to good photographs, right?
Yes, yes, yes. A good diffuser will always give you a good shot. Like uh, the composition and the angle of the subject will not depend much if you have a good diffuser, because a good diffuser will give you a good consistent even lighting throughout the image, and the colors that are present on the subject and in the surroundings, even those will pop out.
Okay.
If you want to show texture of your subject, or if you want to show the mm, structure of the subject, then you can go for hard light, but I will recommend to have beautiful soft light for your macro images.
And Apurva, do you do this macro photography the whole year round, or you just wait for this monsoon to come for 3 months and then you do just in these 3 months and you create your own stock?
No, I shoot all year round. I do not have any other lens. I only have a camera body, that is Nikon D7500, and a Tamron 90 mm. I did not buy the kit lens that comes along with the camera. I just got the 90 mm, and that also have a few reasons, because as I shot with reverse lens settings, the total setup and the distance is totally different when you use a proper macro lens and a good camera. So for me, in initial days, it was very tough to compose the image properly, because the distance was different, and it was very heavy as
Focusing was
compared to
also
my.
difficult.
Yes, yes, yes. So for that reason, I tried to stick around with Tamron 90 mm. I did not got any other lens. That helped me in improving my composition. And secondly, there's nothing like this is not a macro season. You can find macro subjects everywhere. If you say that okay, in summer you will not find much subjects, agreed. But there are not much subjects. But it's not like there are not any subjects. You can find paper wasps, potter wasps building their nest uh, in summers. You can also find cicadas and some other insects which can be found in summer. Every insect, it is not like they just randomly appear in monsoons. They must be alive, or they must be in some stage during winters and rainy season as well. So I try to find those stages of their life form, and I try to shoot along with them.
Great, great,
Okay.
nice.
Any other questions?
So
And will you please also throw some light on the aperture and the shutter speed which you generally use in macro
sure.
photography?
So 95% of the shots that I take have the same settings. I do not change camera settings at all. So the fixed settings are my shutter speed is at 250. Why is it at 250? Because the flash that I'm using, it is not high speed. So the maximum shutter speed that my flash syncs with is 250. So I use 250 as my shutter speed. The ISO that I use is 200 to 400. Why is it? Because you can say that okay, if you use 100 ISO, then you will not get any grains. But cameras nowadays are really efficient in cancelling noise. So 200 to 400 ISO is literally negligible when it comes to noise handling. So that works perfectly for me. And the aperture that I use, it is mostly f16 if the subject is very small. And if I have to step back a little bit for a wider frame, I use mostly f14. So these are the camera settings that I use. My flash settings are constantly set at f32. Nothing less, nothing more. f32, shutter speed 250, ISO 200 to 400, and aperture f16 or f14. That's it. These are the settings that I shoot most of our macros with. Also, there are different types of diffusers that you can use. Like, it is not necessary to have a diffuser exactly like me. You can, like, if, as someone mentioned, I guess Gargi ma'am mentioned that her daughter is interested in macro photography. So you can see that there are like lots of tutorials on how to make a homemade diffuser from household material. So my first diffuser that I made was made of plastic bottle and silver foil paper, and I used it with my inbuilt flash. So there are lots of variations that are available. Why to use diffuser? If you ask me that question, there are multiple reasons. First of all, to get a beautiful light, beautiful soft light. Second thing is to, like, if you use a inbuilt flash or if you use a external flash, you will notice that if you are focusing very closely and if you are shooting, then you might get the shadow of your lens in your image. So to avoid that, you can use diffuser because it spreads the light evenly across the subject. You will not get any shadow of your lens.
Okay. Yeah. So
So I guess we can move ahead.
Yes.
I'll share my screen.
sure.
Yeah, so this is a festival that is held every year after Diwali, and this is a very unique festival. I and I'm showing you these images because I met I met very awesome photographers during such festivals. Like, we bumped into each other, we spoke about what they do, what I do. We like each other's works, and we meet every year during such festivals. And it helped me to uh, know and develop a healthy community around me for getting more idea about what is going on in the world, because not everyone posts their images on social media. I know a few people who have stunning images, who are renowned photographers. They have received many international awards, but they do not post on any of the social media platforms. So I got introduced to them because I was shooting festivals and all. So yeah, this is one of the festival that is held every year near my hometown. Uh, there's this place, a small village called as Gurunche, which is in Purandar district, Purandar Taluka in Pune. So you'll see, okay, you can see in this image, there's this person who is diving into the bed made of thorns. And like, there's no trickery involved in this. He's literally diving head on in this pile of thorns. And like, it is a very thrilling experience to shoot such a festival because it is really very unique and not known at all. I rarely know any other festival where the same ritual is followed. So I'll just walk through these images and I'll let you know exactly what these guys are doing. So yeah, these people, they dive in, they sleep on this bed made of thorns. And why do they do it? Sorry. Why do they do it? Because every year at this festival, they sacrifice themselves to the god. Trust me, even though they are literally jumping on these piles, I have not seen a single person getting severely injured. At the most, there are 2 to 3 thorns that are sticked on their back. That's it. And it is very beautiful to see such energy among them. Every person, like not everyone, but uh, around 300 to 400 people uh, participate in this event, and these people are considered gods at the festival. So the people, those who are going to jump, those are not people; those are gods by the point of view of the people those are living in the village. And this sacrifice or this ritual is an offering to the god that okay, ready to uh, they are ready to bear whatever pain that is in their way, just for worshiping them. And people from different ages participate in these events. I've seen um, people of my age, people that are younger than me, small kids, adults, and people those who are senior citizens like beyond 60 age participate in this festival. This image was featured in National Geographic Your Shot. It was selected as one of the best image that was submitted in November month. Uh, from around 12,000 entries, only 35 images were selected, and this was one of them. You can see there are lots of people who come around and they watch this festival. It's not like they are in pain or in agony. Everyone enjoys this event. Also, the people who are jumping in thrones, even they enjoy to jump. Yeah, as I told, even small kids participate in this event, and no one is forcing any of the person to go and jump. These people, by their own will, they come, they jump, and they perform the ritual. So jumping is, yeah, here you can see the kid is not crying, he's shouting, and he was really cheerful. He's standing in the pile of thorns. Yeah, so now I'll go through the whole procedure of this festival. So you can see there's this person standing in the back. This is the small pathway through which people come for jumping. They jump in the pile of thorns and they walk away. So here there's another pathway through which they walk and they enter the temple. So here in the temple, they come, they bow their head to the god, and you can see here that this kid has a few thorns on his back. So that is the maximum injury that they are facing. There's no severe injuries or anything that is severe outcome of this festival. Then they totally lay down, and you can see that there's this ash in the hands of the person in that temple. So what they do is they spread this ash and remove the thorns. You can check here. The person has thorns in his hands. He's blessing this person, and he has thorns on his in his hand. These thorns are picked from the back, and the ash is rubbed. You can see this guy is picking thorns and throwing ash. These thorns are also called as problems. So the problems that the village will be facing are coming in the form of these thorns, which are attached on the back of these people who are considered gods. Those thorns are picked and kept near the Nandi, which is the god's ride, and there it is believed that okay, these thorns are problems, and now that the problems are at the feet of the god, they will be taken care by it. So all the problems that the town will be facing are now taken care by the god. At the final part of this ceremony, the ash is distributed amongst the gods, like the people who already jumped, and they throw the ash in air. And later, what happens to the thorns? The thorns are burned. So these thorns which are burned, the ash that is created by burning these thorns will be used in the ceremony that is in the following year. So the next year's ceremony, the ash that the people will use will be of these thorns. So I started this festival, and my photo got featured on National Geographic, and I got approached by many amazing photographers from India, from Pune, and they wanted to know about this festival. I called them over and we shot this festival. Yeah, I visited for this festival twice, but after that, due to lockdown, it was not conducted. So due to such festivals, I got to know about many amazing photographers around India. That is the reason I tried to show you these set of images in my talk, because this played a huge role in the growth of my photography. So that's it.
That was amazing. That was
Thank
incredible.
you so much.
Something new we got to know about this festival. Yeah. So yeah, any questions regarding this or anything? Or else we have to go ahead.
I
Are there
think
any
we can.
Yeah.
I think we can go for the closing session.
Sure.
That would be great. Yeah. Okay then. It was wonderful evening and a great talk show. Thank you, Apurv Jadhav, once again for everything which you have shown, for the animals features also, and also for the festivals. Thank you everyone present here. It was an overwhelming talk show. Thanks. So have a good night and happy weekend.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Apurva.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
giving
you,
me this
Ina. Thank
platform
you,
to discuss.
Apurva and Mukul. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
you.
Thank
I
you guys.
enjoyed
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.